Welcome to my new speech on the prevention of Legionnaires disease. Today's title is Peace and Love. So maybe you say this is just getting crazy, this Canadian. But while we speak so much, we have to keep our mind alive. And by this title, I think I will be better to explain to you the importance of culture. We need a safety culture to implement the program. And this is the first point I will talk about. And the second point will be about the second step in implementing an efficient risk management program, which is designing a schematic of the system. And third, while we are aware of the threat that Legionella has to human health, we have to think about other risks that a cooling tower can bring to the building. So just keep your mind open, and this is the right way to make sure that you do your job in a good way. So first, talk about that culture. I come from the period just at the end of it, or right that was really important, which was peace and love. And you know that there was a big attraction and all the people, and it just changed the mind of, I think, the whole society. And in the building, we must have a culture of safety the same way. We need that people are just on the same level with this sensitivity about the risk. If we don't have it, we will have some problem because there will be people just say, oh, there's nothing in that, there's nothing in that. And, with this type of people, we cannot implement a risk management program. So remember that the first step is about building a multidisciplinary team. But we cannot have, performant multidisciplinary team if these people they just don't know anything about what is the risk to transmit Legionnaires disease and being sensitive about the safety culture. You know, we have to put safety first. This is what we learned from other part of the economy, like in the construction field. The workers there, they are really aware about the accident that may occur in the work. So that this is the culture. So we need a culture in a building, and I don't think this is just at the level it should be. Some people think that if we don't talk about risk, nothing will happen, while it's just the opposite. When we know that is a risk, type of risk that exists according to cooling tower, which means it doesn't come at a uh, high frequency, but it is a really severe consequences, and it can go to death. So this is why we cannot just ignore it. So by taking measure, by taking procedure, by doing something to prevent it, then we are in a better way to make sure that the thing that we don't want to happen, which is an outbreak, will occur. So, this real culture, just like peace and love, safety culture has to be in the mind of everyone working in a building. So for sure, those who just hire people, they should make sure that they are really um, they have training for being aware of what's going on in in the building, and mainly according to cooling tower. So I hope you understand this first point. And now we will go by changing the background to the second point. So it is the second point. Second point is the second step for implementing an efficient risk management program. We have here, like we say, cooling tower schematic. So you have the cooling tower, you have the basin, and then from that, we cannot see too much, but you have three branch and pump and heat exchanger coming from the uh, the basin. So why do we do schematic? Just to have a problem and work for nothing? What's schematics for? We have to think about the whole program, which is to identify risk factor. So through that, schematic, we can identify zone where we have to take our attention. We have to make sure that it's well managed. And for that, just to explain it to you, why a risk management program is very important, while just throwing just some chemical is just inefficient. Because here we have three branch, and imagine that like in winter we have two branch working, and the third is just doing that occasionally. So during that time, the water in that branch will stagnate, and they will have chemical in that line. And for that, this line will develop, I can say that, s- life in it, so the water will age in it, and because we are thinking about Legionella, we can imagine that Legionella will increase. So when we will reopen the whole system, this part can be a factor, a risk factor. So if we don't think about that before, while thinking about the operation, we will just be blind and be vulnerable in front of Legionnaires disease. So I just want to repeat that while doing a cooling tower schematic, we are trying to identify the risk factor. Within that, I will just restate again that this is not only about the cooling tower, which is the risk factor. It's not there. It's in the whole system. So this is where the water circulate or just stagnate, like we can imagine. And for that reason, this is those people who operate the cooling tower. It's you are managing the building, who know the way it operates, and then you can find solution with your supplier and the people who just support you. But at the end, you are responsible of knowing how your system works and knowing the way you should maintain or manage it. So this is the second point. And now we will go to the third one by once again changing our background. Here we are. For those who are used, they will see that this is the Mali SPX cooling tower within the garage. And for all the time I spoke about it, it is a treat for the people circulating in the garage. So you know that Legionella can be contract by inhaling the bacteria in the lung, and then the people get sick. So this is why we have to take away the people, and second, the source, which is the cooling tower. So, looking about relocating this cooling tower is just really important to have a safe area according to Legionella. But, here you can see the water just on the on the ceiling, and you can imagine that there the column they are wet all the time, or getting wet, dry and wet, dry and wet, and they are under really a bad situation. My customer, when first he bought the condo unit in this building, found that that was the main problem that he saw, because this is just amazing to have like a source like that of wet, and r- getting this wet will destroy like the column. And he already saw that there was a car over here who was really rust on the roof, under it, and this is something like that. So you see that for safety we have to open our mind, not only to see about Legionella, but if we are in charge, if we are in responsibility of a cooling tower, think about the water coming in from it, and even the vapor which can condensate on surfaces like this column, and column like that support the whole structure of the building. And if you remember, like in months ago, really in Florida, a building just fell down because the structure was weakened. So it's not just having a bad an exaggeration, but we have to, if we think about risk management, we have to think about these problems that occur. So we have to think about Legionella, we have to think about the water and vapor, condensate, and all that. If we have this picture in mind, we will manage it in the safe way. And to finish it, just keep in relation with peace and love. Think that your responsibility is not only to make sure that the technology is working properly and the building has the air conditioning the way it should, and that the cooling tower is operating the way it should also. But we have to think that these buildings are safe. This is, to my view, the first responsibility and the first target that you should look in your work, to make sure that the system, this building is safe. So to finish, I wish you peace of mind, and I guess you will love your work and love the people you serve. So see you next week.